Dun, 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 dun. My ops looking up. I'm like, what in the fuck? Anyway, so today, y'all, I want to talk about the downfall of Cardi B and Armon Wiggins' relationship and why him and all of hip hop media need to take accountability for trying to hold Cardi accountable for her lackluster career and underperforming music. So bear with me, please, because I'm always all over the place. So what I want to do is I want to go through a couple of tweets and then I have a couple of points that Armon made in his last video that he talked about Cardi B and called the problem with Cardi B. I want to connect those statements that he said, some of my points, and then what has been going on with Cardi. So please, if this is your first time on my channel, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you are interested in all things female rappers, but also how the industry politics affect their business decisions. Okay, so let's jump right into it. So a couple like it's been a week or so, a little bit more than a week since there was it wasn't a Twitter exchange between Cardi and Armon, but it was really just Armon going off in a series of tweets about his current relationship with Cardi, or why his views have been what it is, because that there has been a shift in his commentary on Cardi, and her fan base has been reacting to that, right? So they're really not feeling him right now. So he says, "Y'all, I'm not beefing with Cardi. I still very much love her as an artist. I just realized she's like everyone else, and it's no tea. Literally every female rapper blocks me or hates me or calls me messy when I'm not doing the yes, be yes dance, when I'm not praising them. But when I was lip syncing for my life, it was all fun. But who did that benefit? Mind you, I want to point out that I took screenshots because all these tweets have been deleted. And one thing about me is I hate when a bitch delete their tweets because stand on what the fuck you said. Anyway, so he continues, sorry, nothing to see here. I'm not going on a Cardi B drag rant. However, I will be giving my thoughts on her rollout, but a personal rant is crazy. It's not that serious. So he did end up doing that. So he said, one thing I always respect about Nicki Minaj is the fact that I've been critical of her and a super fan, and she blocked and unblocked me. She's still, blocked and unfollowed on Instagram. Anyway, he's saying that his relationship with Nicki, although it has been up and down, she was the first female rapper, the first celebrity to repost his content and not in a not direct way. So anyway, he said, last thing, it's a bit disheartening for Cardi B to be sitting on live subbing and calling me messy because okay, he had said something that once again I don't think it was inappropriate. Then Cardi went on Spaces. She was addressing her fans, but then she also had a comment about messy YouTubers or something. So then she's like, it's a bit heartening to be on live subbing and calling me messy because of a tweet or recent opinions. But let me ask you this: has she ever posted my 1,000 videos of me defending her or doing positive deep dives for the last 5 years? Has she ever come to bat for me when y'all would drag me for supporting her? But now you want to give energy to me when you didn't like what I had to say. That is so whack to me, but it's a game. It's all love, and I'm still going to support and give unbiased opinions. So here is my main point and my main issue with Armon is that where he said on live, somebody called me messy. Let me ask you this: has she ever reposted 1,000 of my videos? Okay, for the last 5 years, right? So here's the thing: is that you, along with a lot of other people, were instrumental in the rise of Cardi B and in making her feel like she was on top. Did not follow Armand, in the past 5 years. So, he is now becoming a little bit more relevant to me. But it's like, you guys are the ones who put her in this position. This is why she's insecure, because y'all gassed her head up so crazy when she was not deserving of those praise and of those accolades. And now that you want to hold her accountable for her lack of participation in hip hop, you think that we supposed to just be okay with it. Like, nah, what you need to do, Armand, is you need to step on that camera and you need to take accountability for the things that you said. And one thing, he did give props to, once again, Nicki Minaj for reposting his content and supporting him without, anything in return. But I don't like that he tried to bring that up in the way that he's trying to, talk about Cardi, right? Anyway, he said, I've genuinely supported most of her music and releases and couldn't even get a like or a tweet or a like on Instagram for posting her fire pictures, child, bye. So then someone responded to him saying, boy, you're clearly hurt, STFU, and move on, or go tweet about Nicki or something. He said, I am. It's no shade. It is what it is. So he said, somebody said, you really think Cardi or any person in their right mind would get close to you? Just a few days ago, you were ready to let the people know why Cardi B is really mad because she whacked you. I wouldn't give a person like that validation or engagement either. So he said, let's be clear. I don't need it or want it anymore. I'm navigating my own way. I'm a whole talk show host now, so I'm gonna get through regardless. Also, the old me would have crashed out. However, I have things to lose, and I have learned I'm not on that what I'm actually busy building. So then he had a space where he went more in depth about this situation. Anyway, so I checked out his video on Cardi B. So like let's get into that, okay? Mm, okay, Armon. Get it. Child, if y'all still here, make sure y'all like this video and subscribe to the channel. But look at him having fun or whatever. But anyway, so yeah, let's get back to the points that he had to make in his last video on Cardi. And the thing about Armand is that he makes amazing points. And he talked about her lack of confidence, which we've all been calling out on Cardi B and her recent releases and in general, right? She doesn't believe she talks a lot of stuff on the internet and in fashion about being the it girl and setting the pace and the tone in rap, which is clearly false because it's like even though she's been active, everything she's put out is lackluster. And even though her last proper single that will be on her album debuted in the top 10 of the chart, it's still underperforming and it's still just not impactful in the greater scheme of hip hop and female rap. So Cardi B doesn't. We can all tell that in the music and how she raps, she doesn't really believe that she is the shit, right? Even though she talks about that. And so Armand said, he said, if you truly feel like you've gotten here authentically, if there was nothing that anyone could say, you would have put out a project. It wouldn't be stopping you. And he believes that she's coming with a sympathy rollout for her next album because she lacks accountability for all of the problems that she talks about, right? In her career, it's always someone else's fault. It's always her team. It's always her fans putting too much pressure on her. GP, her haters, putting too much pressure on her. Or there's her personal life where she's found arguing with her husband. It's always someone else's fault. And she went on Spaces a couple weeks ago to tell them to punish her fans and say, oh, they weren't getting the album when you knew that you had a Rolling Stone article dropping the next day that was all about teasing the album. So what is the point of like trying to create these PR stunts where you distract people, but it just doesn't working out for you? And he said that Cardi B came in at a pivotal time where it was a lot of Nicki Minaj hate. The industry was trying to dethrone her. And Cardi, she had the blogs, the radio, the industry campaigns, and she defied the odds. She had that sympathy story. She came out the hero, the villain, the stripper who made it big. And unfortunately, he was saying that there's no story for this album, there's no narrative, there's no marketing, there's no talking points, because all Cardi really is doing is talking her stuff. But she also says in her interviews that she does not like being vulnerable and talking about like important issues in her life, in her music. So it's like, how much depth could you really provide on this album? And so it's like, once again, how are you setting a place when you're crashing out and flopping? Nikki is really the setting the place and you getting dragged to the finish line. And honestly, Lotto Child, she just gave up on 2024 because we ain't even been, talking about her. Anyway, and so it's like, once again, if Cardi does put out her album and it does well, it's like, oh my God, yay, she defied the odds of all the criticism, all the hate, and all the projection that she wasn't going to do well. And she ended up doing well, even though you counted her out. Here's a sympathy story. But then if it does do well, what did I say? If it doesn't or does do well, if it does do well, same thing, right? Like she defied the odds. Or if it doesn't do well, it's like, oh my God, you guys put too much pressure on her. It was so many things going on in her life, right? So it's just like our mom was saying, this is why you make the millions of dollars that you make, because you undergo the amazing things that come along with being an artist and and the celebrity, but also the criticism. And you have to be able to take it, because even the artist at your caliber, which would be not a Nicki Minaj, but I'm just saying a Nicki Minaj or Beyonce, insert the biggest, any other artist, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, all of the biggest, they go through their own stuff in the media. They are not the perfect, they haven't been the perfect people, haven't been the perfect careers, not so great things have happened to them, yet they still bounce back and they are successful. And they're not worried about the success because they're real artists and they're putting out music is just a part of their life. And once again, Cardi B is not a real artist. And so once again, that's honestly what needs to come out of Armand's mouth. And he's been saying that, oh, she wants to be on that influencer status and she really only has the confidence when it comes to that as well as fashion. And it's true, it's facts. But once again, Armand, you have to hold yourself accountable, because that's why Cardi will not respect his opinion, is because it wasn't authentic and it wasn't true in the beginning when they actually had a good relationship, because he was loving her because he was hating on someone else. And I need the rest of the industry to take accountability for that, especially the ones who are trying to take the pressure off of Cardi B's back, because you're the reason why it's there. But I really appreciate you if you made it to the end of this video. Of course, I'm dying to know what you guys think about how Armon could truly hold Cardi accountable, because he does have a strong voice in the community of female rap commentary, and somebody has to, right? So yeah, and then once again, the things that he's saying is true. It's just facts, right? But you waited too long, you know. Anyway, please subscribe so that we can continue with this conversation, because I'm sure we will be talking about it more. I'll see you in the comments and in the next video. Have an amazing day.